السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. We continue with our durus pertaining to the Arabic language, Al-Arabiya lil Wahyain, Arabic language for the understanding of the two revelations, Al-Wahyain, the Quran, and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is our 11th Darus in the series, Darus Al-Hadi Ashar. And as we mentioned before our long pause in our previous Darus, that inshallah we will start to do some practices on listening comprehension. And the way we'll be doing that inshallah ta'ala is the nas or the hadith or the text that we'll be using. It will be kind of lengthy, a long text, but not necessarily we will do the entire text in one darus, but in a series of durus, and then inshallah ta'ala I will send out the audio for that text for you to listen to it until you can understand it and you can figure out all of the words inshallah ta'ala. But before we get into the actual text, the actual hadith, just to note that listening comprehension is something that takes time, and it is something that many students they lose patience with regards in the beginning. For example, you may study a book and you may know all of the vocabularies in that book. When you read it, you can understand it. But then if you are to hear that book being read to you, it might be a different story. You might not be able to understand that book when you hear that same book being read to you, because listening is something totally different than reading. You might see a word and you know it, but when you hear that word, it doesn't register. So you have to listen and listen and listen a lot. And you should be listening if you want to learn Arabic, listening to a lot of Arabic, even if you don't understand, just listen to it. And based on experience, inshallah, it will help you in the long run, inshallah ta'ala. So our hadith or the text that we'll be using for the first listening comprehension is a very famous hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the story of the blind and the bald-headed and the man who had leprosy, where the angel came to them, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to test them. Now this is a very long hadith, so we will not cover the entire hadith in one class, but in a series of classes. And then inshallah ta'ala, we will send out the audio of this hadith for everyone to practice inshallah ta'ala. So the text of the hadith, عن أبي هريرة أنه سمع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: إن ثلاثة في بني إسرائيل أبرص وأقرع وأعمى أراد الله أن يبتليهم فبعث إليهم ملكا فأتى الأبرص فقال: أي شيء أحب إليك؟ قال: لون حسن وجلد حسن ويذهب عني الذي قد قذرني الناس. فمسحه فذهب عنه قذره وأعطي لونا حسنا وجلدا حسنا. قال: فأي المال أحب إليك؟ قال: الإبل أو قال البقر، شك إسحاق. قال: فأعطي ناقة عشراء فقال بارك الله لك فيها. So the general meaning of this part of the hadith, Abi Hurairah radiallahu an, he said that he heard the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that indeed three people from amongst Bani Israel, a Abros, an Abros, someone who has a leprosy, wa Aqra, and a bald-headed man, wa A'ma, and a blind man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to test them, so he sent to them an angel. So the angel, he came to the man, the leper, and he said to him, what is the most beloved thing to you? And he said, a good color and a good skin, and for the thing that the people, they find me nasty about, or they find repulsive about me, for that thing to go, meaning his disease. So the angel, he wiped over him, or he wiped him, the man, passed his hand over him, and the disease, it went away, and he was given a good skin, a good color and a good skin. And then the angel, he asked him what wealth is most beloved to him, and he said camels, or he said cows. And the narrator Ishaq, he was in doubt whether he said cows or he said camels. So he was given camels, ushara, meaning a camel that is 10 months pregnant. That is if he had said camel. Faqala, and then the angel told him, may Allah bless you, or may Allah bless you in this wealth, in this camel. So now the word for word explanation of the hadith. Inna, we did inna to show emphasis. Verily, surely. Thalathatan, verily, or indeed, or three. Three, fi here means amongst. So three amongst the children of Israel, Bani Israel. Now in Arabic, as we mentioned before, a lot of things can be omitted because it is understood. So what is meant three here means three person from amongst Bani Israel. Abros, a leper, someone who has that skin disease. Wa aqra, a person who is bald-headed. Wa a'ma, and a person who is blind. So these three people, the Abros, the Aqra, and the A'ma, Arada Allah. Arada means he wanted. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to an yabtaliyahum. Yabtaliya means to test. Whom? Them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to test them, meaning these three people. So faba'atha, fa means so, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to test them. So what he did, faba'atha. This fa, it represents that so in English, and it can take other translation. Faba'atha means sent. So he sent, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he sent. Ila, ilay means to, him, them. He sent towards them, or he sent to them, malakan, an angel. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wanted to test them, so he sent to them an angel who's going to carry out this test. Fa'ata, so he came, meaning the angel, al-abarasa, he came to the man who had the leprosy. Now notice this word ata, came to the leper, and there's no to in between. So this word here, fa'ata, it can use without a preposition. You don't say at. If you say ataytul masjid, mean I came to the masjid. There's no preposition in between. But the word came in English, if you came to something, you use the word to, the preposition to in between. فَأَتَى الْأَبْرَصَ فَقَالَ. So he said to him, meaning the angel said to the Abras, أَيُّ شَيْءٍ أَحَبُّ إِلَيْكَ. Ayyu means which in this context. Can means which. Which thing? أَيُّ شَيْءٍ. Ahabbu is most beloved. Ayushay, which thing? Ahabbu means most beloved, from hub, most beloved. Ilaik, towards you. Which thing is most beloved towards you? Paul, he said, meaning the Abaros, he said, Launun hasanun. Laun, color, hasanun, good. A good color. Wa jildun hasanun. Jild, skin, hasanun, good. And a good skin. وَيَذْهَبْ, and also what is most beloved to me. Yadhhab means to go. Anni, from me, is an, from, and the ya there representing me, from me. So let's take all of the words and then we get to the meaning. So anni, from me, alladhi, mean which. Qadira, this word qadira, when you qadira something, meaning you find it to be nasty, or you find it to be disgusting, or you find it to be like repulsive. Qadira, when you qadir something, you find it to be nasty, you can't you can't stand it or something. So qadira and the na, so annasu qadirani, the ni here representing me. So the people, they are the one who are finding me nasty. So he wants for that thing, the thing which the people are finding me to be nasty about, to go from me. So now you got to pay attention to this entire structure. Is different than its way it's expressed in English, the arrangement of the words. So from amongst the thing that is beloved to him, وَيَذْهَبُ عَنِّي, to go from me, alladhi, that which the people find me to be nasty. Qadirani, the thing that the people, they find me to be nasty. This qad here is used for is a form of tahqiq, to show. Is like in English when you say I have eaten. This have eaten, this qad here, it's used to represent that, to show that it actually happened. So the thing that the people have found me to be nasty with regards. So when the people, when they see him with his skin and the way his skin is, they treat him to be nasty. They treat him to be something repulsive. I hope that part there is clear. So he wants that thing to go away from him. Now, with regards, as I mentioned before, with regards to getting the Arabic expression, just keep reading it over and over and over. After understanding each words, keep reading over and over until the Arabic expression kind of click to you. That might not happen in one sitting or one day or 1 month, but you gotta just keep reading. And inshallah, when it happens, you one day you will feel as if you always knew or always understand it before. But just keep reading and listening and reading over and over. But make sure you know the meaning of each words before you read. Just know the meaning of each word and keep reading. So the angel, famasahahu. After that, the angel, after he told the angel what is most beloved to him, then this fa here means here then. So after he gave the angel his request, what the angel do? Then famasahahu. Masaha means to wipe or to pass your hand over. So the angel passed his hand over him. The who referring to the leper. So after the angel does that, or after the angel did that, what happened? فَذَهَبَ عَنْهُ قَذَرُهُ. So the qadar, the nastiness, his nastiness, meaning his disease, went from him. It went from him. وَأُعْطِيَ. أُعْطِيَ means he was given. He was given launan hasanan, a good color. Good color. He was given a good color. Wa jildan, and he was given a good skin. And in Arabic, as we know, the adjective comes after the noun or the thing that is being described. So a skin good, good skin. So and then after the angel wiped over him and he was his nastiness or the disease went away and he was given a good skin and good color. Call, meaning the angel said, asking him, فَأَيُّ الْمَالِ أَحَبُّ إِلَيْكَ? So which wealth is most beloved to you? Ahabbu ilayk, most beloved to you. Qal, he said, al-ibil. He said, camels. Ibil is camel, is a collective noun referring to camel. Both female and male camel altogether, you call them ibil. A female camel by itself, naqa, and the male camel, you call it jamal. Aw, meaning or, notice in bracket, or qala, or he said bakar. So either he said he wanted camel or he wanted cows. Bakar, cows. Shakka means to be in doubt. Ishaq, one of the narrator of the hadith, he was in doubt whether he said camel or whether he said cows. So let's say he said camel. So when he said camel is the most beloved wealth to him, qal, he said, فَأُعْطِيَ, meaning who's narrating the hadith, he said, فَأُعْطِيَ نَاقَةً عُشَرًا. He was given a naqa. Now, a naqa, we said, is a female camel. Ibil, camels in general. So he was given a female camel, ushara, meaning this camel was 10 months pregnant from ashara. Ushara, 10 months pregnant. Faqal, so the angel said, Faqal, so he said, meaning the angel said to him, Barakallahu lak. May Allah bless you fiha, in it. So in other words, may Allah bless you with regards to this camel. Barakallahu lak fiha, or may Allah bless it for you. May Allah bless it. The fiha, you want the blessing to be fiha, in the camel, and the purpose of that camel blessing is for you. May Allah bless for you with regards to it. That's if you want to translate it just to understand, but a better way might say, may Allah bless the camel for you. But just to understand, you want the blessing to go in the camel, fiha. And the purpose of it being blessed, laka, is for you. So this generally is the part of the hadith that we'll be taking today, inshallah ta'ala. Now, the vocabularies of that part, we have jild, skin, julud, skins. Aqra is a ball, someone who's bald-headed. Plural, more than one bald-headed people, men, you call them qur'un. A'ma, someone who's blind, more than one. Umyun or umyan, and both of these words are in the Quran. Summun, bukmun, umyun, and umyana. And then you have the word ushara, we said it, 10 months pregnant camel, and the plural, more than one 10-month pregnant camel, you call them ishar. In Surah Takwir, وَإِذَا الْعِشَارُ عُطِّلَتْ. Abras, a leper. Burs, more than one lepers. Mal, wealth. Amwal, wealth. The vocab, some of the verbs we did. Arada means he wanted. Yuridu, present tense, he wants. Arid, commanding someone to want. And the irada is the wanting. Your wanting, your will, you call it the irada. Ibtala, he tests or he trialed, meaning you test someone or you trial someone. Wa ibtala Ibrahima rabbuhu, when Ibrahim Lord tested him bi kalimatin, with some words. Wa ibtala Ibrahima rabbuhu. Ibtala, he tested, meaning you test, he tested someone. Yabtali, he tests or he's testing. Ibtali, you're commanding someone to test someone else. And the ibtila is the test or the trial. If you say you're going through an ibtila or you're going through a trial or a test. And this form of test is not normally referred to the exam paper test. Those tests you refer to them as imtihan. But these are maybe test of life or some form of mental or spiritual test or disaster test. It's normally referred to those form of tests. Ba'atha means he sent. Yab'athu, he sends or he's sending. Ib'ath, you're commanding someone to send something. And the ba'ath is the sending, the act of sending. Masaha, to wipe, he wiped. Yamsahu, he wipes. Imsah, commanding someone to wipe something. The same word used to wipe. If you say someone, tell someone wipe your foot. Imsah rijlak or imsah ra'sak, wipe your head. And the mash is the wiping. That's when you say al-mash al khuffain. What's the ruling of al-mash al khuffain? Wiping over the leather socks. And you have shakka, meaning to be in doubt. Shakka, he is in doubt. He doubted. Yashukku, he's doubting or he doubts. Ushkuk, now the command form of any word that has a shadda, three-letter verb that has a shadda, it has two command form. You can say ushkuk because shakka is actually shakaka. Shakaka. So you can say ushkuk if you just open back the word, or you can say shukka. So like for example, the word hajja means to do hajj. So if you're commanding someone to do hajj, you tell someone make hajj this year, you can say احجج هذا العام, make hajj this year, or حجة هذا العام, make hajj this year. And shak is the doubt. أنت في شك, you are in doubt, you have doubt. Some of the vocabularies, some example of those vocabularies from the Quran, you have the word julud, the plural of jild, skins. وَقَالُوا لِجُلُودِهِمْ لِمَ شَهِدْتُمْ عَلَيْنَا, on the day of judgment, when people's skins will testify against them, and then they will say, وَقَالُوا, they said, لِجُلُودِهِمْ, to their skins, لِمَ شَهِدْتُمْ عَلَيْنَا, why are you testifying against us? Aishar, we said more than 10 months pregnant camel. وَإِذَا الْعِشَارُ عُطِّلَتْ, on the day of, or from among the signs of the day of judgment. وَإِذَا الْعِشَارُ عُطِّلَتْ, when the ishar, or on the day of judgment, the ishar, the pregnant camels, they will be forsaken, left alone. No one will get time with them. بَعَثَ, to send. هُوَ الَّذِي بَعَثَ فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ رَسُولًا, he is the one who sent fil ummiyin, amongst the illiterate. And we see the word fi here means amongst also, as it came in the hadith. Fil ummiyin rasula, he's the one who sent amongst the ummiyin, amongst the illiterate ones, meaning the Arabs, a messenger minhum, from them. Arada yuridu, yuridu mean he wants. Yuridun, they want. We did the conjugation of this word. If you add the waw and the noon, meaning they want. So yuridu, he wants. Yuridun, they wants. They want, they want. They want and yutufi'u, to extinguish the light of Allah with their mouths. Bi afwahihim, referring to the disbelievers. They want to extinguish the light of Allah with their mouths. Shak, doubt. Balhum fi shakkin yal'abun, rather they are in doubt, playing. Okay. So just some quick principles. Now, as we said, the purpose of going through these rulings and these principles, as we did in our previous class, is for the sake of understanding, not the sake of speaking. For the sake of speaking, you have to go into more details with regards to grammar and so to understand. But just to get a little idea in understanding when you read and when you listen, that's the purpose why we go through some of these things. So you might find that we are not mentioning a lot of details that you may know or that you may find in books. So one way of showing comparison in Arabic is by putting the word in the scale af'alu, following by min as demonstrated below. Now, the meaning of showing comparison here is when you say something is more than something or better than something, this thing is bigger than this thing, or this thing is smaller than this thing, or someone is better than someone, someone is greater than someone. Now, in English, for example, you've added er to the word. He is bigger, he's greater, he's smaller. In Arabic, there's a fixed way you can do it for certain verbs and certain words. Now, the condition for those words and those verbs, we will not get into those condition, but just to get a general idea, those, if you want, for example, we have the word kabir means big. So if we say Muhammadun kabirun, Muhammad is big. Zaidun kabir, Zaid is big. Now, if you want to say now Muhammad is bigger than Zaid, for example. So this word kabir, you put it in the scale of af'al, the scale af'al, and we did scales before. So we take the root. Each root word will represent, the first root word will represent the fa, the second represent the ain, and the third represent the lam. So the first root word is the kaf, representing the fa, the ba, representing the ain, and the ra representing the lam. So the ya there is an extra word, it's not a root word. So if we play this word on the scale, we have the fa, the kaf coming where the fa is, the ba coming where the ain is, the ra coming where the lam is, and the hamza is extra. So you have from af'al, this becomes akbaru. Now, most times when you read, most times in books of grammar, they will take it from the verb, kabura, instead of the noun. So you can take it from the verb kabura, you're going to get the same result. Kabura means to be big. So Zaidun akbaru min Muhammad. Zaid is bigger than Muhammad. And note the word used in Arabic for than. We say in English than, but in Arabic you say min. Zaid is bigger than Muhammad. So this min here is not translated as from, but this is a min here that's used for the comparison. For example, in the Quran, وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ, we are closer to him than hablil warid, his jugular vein. We are closer to him. The word qareeb means close. So closer, aqrab, on the scale, af'al, akbar. And wal fitnatu akbaru min al qatl, in Surah Al-Baqarah. Fitna, corruption, it is bigger or greater than killing. Spreading corruption, someone who's spreading corruption and fitna in the land, he's worse than someone who is killing. Now, some words in Arabic, you have forming comparison, forming the comparison form of words with shadda or two similar letters. So if we look at it from the adjective, you see the word Habib has two similar letters, ba here and then a ba. And in the verb ahabba, there is a shadda. Shadid, you have two letters, and in shadda, the same thing, two similar, because the shadda representing two similar letters. So now a word like this, how is it you form the comparison form? So if it's in the verb form, shadda, like shadda and ahabba, habib means something that is beloved to you. Ahabba means he loved. Shadid, something is severe. Shadda, to make something severe, to be severe upon something. So you form it by placing it in this form here. So shadid and shadda becomes ashaddu. Habib or ahabba becomes ahabbu. How they end up with this here, going into that details might just cause corruption. Because if you split the word, it's on the scale of alu, you get ahbabu, and then to make it easier on the tongue, they join the two similar letters and then they bring forward the fatha. So you end up with ahabu or ashaddu. Going all of those are details, not much benefit. So just understand it like that. If you have a word looking like shadid or habib, or the verb in the verb form shadda, or like ahabba, habba, you just form it like this: ahabbu and ashaddu. That's going to be easier for practical benefit. So for in the Quran, you have another verse: "Wal fitnatu ashaddu min al qatl." Corruption is more severe. Eh, um, Fitna is more severe than qatl, than killing. Now, this word here, to say something or someone is better than, use the word khayr. Now, this word here is a comparison word. Khayrun means good. Something khayr means good, and even when you're using it in a comparison form, it remains the same. It doesn't change. You don't say akhyar. That's correct also. Akhyar is correct. You can say hada akhyar. This is better. But this word is also used in that same form without changing it to mean something is better. For example, Laylatul Qadri khayrum min alfi shahr. Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. So the word khayr can be used just like that to show comparison without changing it. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.